Yeah, Sac Passe. My name is Benoit Sherry. Welcome to a brand new episode of my show. Today, I'm going to be honoring 20 black classic love films and also discussing the black family structure. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. And please support the promotions. Yes, I'm inspired, and I hope you cats are inspired also. So don't forget to pick up some fresh gear from this company. Inspire Motivational Tees. All the descriptions, address, email will be left in the comment section. Peace. The one and only DJ Ricky Jams. I know, you guys are bored out of your freaking minds. But anyway, that doesn't stop you from listening to this DJ. He's the best all-around DJ. He's been in the business for a while. And I want you guys to listen to him. His description, contact will be left in the description box. All right? Peace.
It was 18 hours before I even saw a lawyer. Of course, I get a court-appointed lawyer who was like, how do you plead? Never once looked up at me.
The other police officer was still on our right-hand side with his flashlight, which I found out to be a little, strange.
The officer's hands, and his hands were shaking like this. And I remember laughing to myself like, well, is this guy really afraid of me?
All the money in my pocket was from my dad picking up fares. You know what I mean? We're allowed to have their sacrifice in our pockets, but not to them, not to the police.
It left a lasting impression on me because it definitely put me on notice that as a black man in America, that they could pull you over anytime for almost anything.
What do I have to do? I mean, I went to one of the finest photo schools on the East Coast. I worked for an accredited photographer. I was doing my job. I was doing what I was supposed to be doing, what I had studied for since elementary school. And yet I was treated like I didn't have rights.
Greetings, my brothers and sisters. My name is Sam. It is a rat race, as you can see. Crowded trains, crowded streets. How do we escape these conditions? Well, we can escape by doing yoga with me as your yoga instructor. You can reach me at Instagram at yoga.sunkaruna, and my Facebook is Sun Yoga Sun Karuna, and my email is yogasunkarunadevi with 2i at gmail.com. Thank you.
Okay, brothers and sisters, welcome back to the show. My name is Benoit Sherry. Now, moving right along on the list, 20. Number 20 is Why Did I Get Married? Written by Tyler Perry, starring Tyler Perry, Janet Jackson, Jill Scott, Malik Yoba, Richard Jones, and Michael Gerard White. This film is about the difficulties of maintaining a solid relationship in modern times. Number 19, Waiting to Excel. Nothing is so beautiful to see 4 black, beautiful women on stage. Whitney Houston, Angela Bassett, Lalila Roshan, and Loretta Devine. This movie centers around 4 women waiting for a man for a committed relationship. Number 18, Two Can Play That Game. When it comes to matters of the heart, keeping her man happy and committed is all in a day's work for Shantae Smith, played by Vivica Fox. Keeping control of the romance that her best friends depend on her for advice. But when her boyfriend steps out with an old flame, Shantae institutes her 10-day plan to put him back into his place. Number 17, Their Eyes Were Watching God, written by Zora Neale Hurston, starring Halle Berry and Michael Early. Zora Neale Hurston was an American author, an anthropologist, filmmaker. She portrayed racial struggles during the early 1900s. The most popular, of course, number 17 on our list, is Their Eyes Were Watching God, published in 1937. She also wrote more than 50 short stories, plays, and essays. Number 16, How Stella Got Her Groove Back, written by Terry McMillan, directed by Kevin Rodney Sullivan, starring Angela Bassett, Taye Diggs, and Regina King. Stella Payne is a very successful 40-year-old stockbroker and raising her son. Stella and friends decide to take a trip to Montego Bay, Jamaica, where she encounters a 20-year-old young islander. His pursuit of her turns into a blossoming romance. Number 15, Jason's Lyric, written by Bobby Smith Jr., directed by Doug McHenry. In a violent, drug-infested neighborhood in Houston, Jason, played by Alan Payne, dreams of something better. But real joy enters his life when he meets Lyric, played by Jada Pinkett. Number 14 on our countdown, Poetic Justice, written and directed by John Singleton, starring Janet Jackson, Tupac Shakur, Regina King, and Joe Torre. In this film, brothers and sisters, the main character Justice writes poems which she recites throughout the whole film. The poems that were featured in the film were written by Maya Angelou.
Many people wonder where my secret lies. I'm not cute or built to suit a fashion model size. When I start to tell them, they think I'm telling lies. I say, it's in the reach of my arms, the span of my hips, the stride of my step, the curl of my lips. I'm a woman, phenomenally. I walk into a room just as cool as you please, and to a man the fellows stand or fall down on their knees. Then they swarm around me, a hive of honeybees. I say, it's the fire in my eyes, the flash of my teeth, the swing in my waist, the joy in my feet. I'm a woman, phenomenally. Men themselves have wondered what they see in me. They try so much, but they can't touch my inner mystery. When I try to show them, they say they still can't see. I say, it's in the arch of my back, the sun of my smile, the ride of my breasts, the grace of my style. I'm a woman, phenomenally. Now you understand just why my head's not bowed. I don't shout or jump about or have to talk real loud. When you see me passing, it ought to make you proud. I say it's in the click of my heels, the bend of my hair, the palms of my hands, the need for my care. Because I'm a woman, phenomenal woman, all you women and me.
This part is such a great part. I love the character. I love the script. It was so moving to me and such a page turner. I really wanted to know what was going to happen. And this character is so strong and so admirable in her strength and courage and fearlessness. And it's a great role.
We're almost competing with each other. I think because both of the characters individually were competitors, and when they got together, it was a competition. You have a husband or a boyfriend or what have you, and it's like male-female competition. Who's in power. But it superseded that. It was like because we were both ball players, and I was at the top of my game. My character was at the top of his game, and her character was finding her way. And didn't have it laid out like my character had it laid out.
I'll play you.
What? For what?
Your heart. A coming-of-age love story about two basketball players. I think it's a classic love story.
Yeah, I think it was a love story with basketball as a backdrop. It has nothing to do with race. It's, like I said, it's a love story which is universal. Basketball, that particular sport, any sport is universal. And as far as it being black characters, you got these two, black kids who are in suburbia USA who have, two-parent households. And that's something that's refreshing that you never really see, but it wasn't played on. We didn't play on that, so you don't think about it, Any person from any ethnic background can go see this film and be inspired by the love and by the passion and the competitiveness of both of the characters,
Number 12 on our list is The Inkwell. Jew, played by Lorenz Tate, is a quiet 16-year-old recovering from a trauma accident. Drew's parents take the family to Martha's Vineyard in Boston for vacation. When Drew arrives to Martha's Vineyard, he falls in love with two different women, Jada Pinkett and Andrina Jolie Johnson. Number 11 on our list, God, Send Me a Man, written by Curtis Vaughn and Carlos Powell. Stacy is a promiscuous 20-something woman who is quick to judge those around her and has nothing but bad luck in love. One day, Stacy decides to reevaluate her life. Number 10, Deliver Us from Eva.
Basically, a story about four sisters who kind of banded together over the death of their parents. And the eldest, Eva, gave up everything to raise them. She, in turn, kind of became a little controlling, a little manipulative, a little overbearing.
But don't mind us. We're just having sex.
Oh, so I should just come back in, 2 minutes?
I played this lover boy type of guy who kind of comes in to sweep this really conservative young lady off her feet in order to get her out of the lives of her sisters and their spouses because she's driving them crazy.
Make her fall in love with you. Then you tell her you're leaving town, and then you can go.
Just let the master handle his business.
Eva is a woman who is all about efficiency and organization and being responsible. You don't want your baby coming out of the womb. Talk about where to lick it.
Hey.
Ray Adams is basically a guy who likes to play. He's a player. Females are his playground.
Number 9, Brown Sugar, directed by Rick Famuyiwa, starring Sanaa Lathan, Taye Diggs, Mos Def, Nicole Ari Parker, Boris Kodjoe, and the beautiful Queen Latifah. In this movie, a woman wonders if it's just friendship or real love she feels when a close male friend announces he's tying the knot. In this romantic comedy, Taye Diggs, Sanaa Lathan become best friends when they were 10 years old, the same time that both first became aware of the hip-hop revolution in New York City. Number 8, Beyond the Lights, directed by Gina Prince by the Wood, starring Nate Parker, Guga Madabetha Ra, and Danny Glover, along with Mimi Driver. Beyond the Lights, the pressure of fame have a superstar singer, Noni, on the edge until she meets Kaz, a young cop who works to help her find the courage to develop her own voice and break free to become the artist she was meant to be. Number 7, Disappearing Acts, written by Terry McMillan, directed by Gina Prince by the Wood. A struggling construction worker and an inspiring musician find themselves falling in love in this compelling romantic drama starring Wesley Snipes and Sanaa Lathan.
This is something that I've been working on for a while, and I was hoping that a certain someone would be here tonight. But I don't see him, so I guess I'm gonna get it out anyway. It's funny what you can do in front of a room full of people that you can't even seem to do in front of one person. It is the color of light, the shape of sound high in the evergreens. It lies suspended in hills, a blue line in a red sky. I am looking at sound. I'm hearing the brightness of high bluffs and almond trees. I am tasting the wilderness of lakes, rivers, and streams, caught in an angle of song. I'm remembering water that glows in the dawn, the motion tumbled in earth, life hidden in mounds. I am dancing a bright beam of light. I am remembering love.
Number 5, a thin line between love and hate. Martin Lawrence stars as a polished seducer, Darnell Wright, who doesn't take no for an answer. Lynn Whitfield stars as Brandy Webb, the self-assured knockout beauty who says no. Ultimately, charm, lust, and passion prevail, but he's about to discover the dangers of saying all the right things to the wrong woman, and learns the hard way that there's a thin line between love and hate.
Harper, why'd you really leave your girl at home this weekend?
Because I wanted to hang out with the guys. You know, cut up with the boys before she came.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry, man. You know I would give my right arm to... Fuck that. You said, man, yesterday, you said yourself that you would forgive her.
So you calling me a hypocrite now?
You're just not being realistic. This isn't the Bible. This is the real world. And Mia is as close to perfection as you're gonna get.
So I guess you got all the answers then, huh? I mean, everything is so fucking logical to you, ain't it?
Man, come on, man, you're in a church.
Not just a fuck where we are. You can't control me, Harper. I'm not one of your little characters in one of your little stories, man. You can't control this outcome, Harper, and you know why? Because you are not God. That's reality, motherfucker. That's fucking reality.
Let's listen to reason.
I knew. I always knew in the back of my mind that she had been with somebody else. But never in a million lifetimes did I think that you was gonna be that self-serving, backstabbing bastard.
You can hate me forever, man. But not Mia. She loves you so much. Man, you're staring your ideal woman in the face. You two are made for each other. You two fit together.
She's my queen.
Number 3 on our countdown is Boomerang. A New York marketing executive by the name of Marcus Graham, played by Eddie Murphy, is a wolf in sheep clothing. A ladies' man dedicated to life, liberty, and happiness of pursuit. But what goes around also comes around in this clever romantic comedy. Number 2, Coming to America.
Your Highness, we have not come to that part yet. Your Highness. Your Highness.
Okay, the moment that you've been waiting for. Number 1 on our 20 black love movies is Claudine.
Now, you understand that if you get married, we might drop Mrs. Price from the program, but this will be determined after your financial status has been computed by us. It has nothing to do with aid to the children. You understand?
Now, if you will sign this statement, it shows your income and your expenses, Mr. Marshall, and get it back to me within 2 weeks. You understand?
Yes, I understand all that, but listen, I gotta ask you something because I gotta think about this thing. What happens if I lose my job?
If you're married, you must apply for welfare.
Oh, I must apply for welfare?
You must apply for welfare. Otherwise, this would constitute a misuse of ADC funds.
Which is fraud.
You understand? If the husband's unwilling or unable to make a contribution equal to what it would cost him to maintain an independent living arrangement, he must apply for welfare. Do you understand? Otherwise, this would constitute a misuse of ADC funds.
Which is fraud.
Which is misappropriation.
Which is fraud.
Right, okay, now wait a minute. Now, if I marry this lady, I want to make things better. But if I spend $1 on it, you're going to deduct it from her, right? If I want to buy a little something extra, you're going to deduct it. And I better report every penny I spend, or else I'm a crook. Okay, now you say if I lose my job, I must apply for welfare because I can't just sit around eating the government's biscuit.
Which is fraud.
Because that's a fraud, right? Okay, now, if I do go into welfare, then I'm just another lazy-ass nigga that living off taxpayer. All right, now, suppose I do not marry this lady. Now, if I move in with her and do not tell you, then we're both crooks, right? But if I do tell you, then we're back to the income and the outcome and the deducting, and you drive me to drink. And you call a fraud if I spend $7 for a bottle of whiskey.
Claudine, starring Diane Carroll as Claudine, James Earl Jones as Wu, Lawrence Hilton Jacobs, and Roxy Rocker. This 1974 classic movie written and directed by John Barry. Now, one of the reasons I chose this movie was the scene where they were sitting in the welfare office. Now, there are so much programs and research that attempt to fix the problems that so much black families suffer from. And yet, not enough attention on fixing and destroying the structural racism. I believe that the only way to solve these problems is by giving black Americans reparations. Brothers and sisters, did you know that black Americans are the only group that has not received any reparations for state sanctions and racial discrimination? Slavery brought tremendous wealth to the white families in America, which white families in America still benefit till this day. So I believe reparations is due. Now let's go back to the movie. James Earl Jones' role in the movie as the father. Now, the father figure in the family is very important, especially the black family. Now, why I say that is the father plays the role as the provider, the decision maker of the household. And on the other hand, Diane Carroll's role as the black mother, her role is to take care of the children and the responsibility of the household, which is very crucial. Claudine is willing to work, but she hides the fact that she does work in order to receive government assistance. The movie tackles many of the problems that black Americans face, such as systemic oppression, single-parent household, teenage pregnancy, social injustice, and reform. More issues. Also in the movie, Charles, Claudine's oldest son, dislikes the welfare system because he believes that the recipients of welfare pacifies and further enforces poverty on the black Americans. Thank you so much, brothers and sisters, for hanging out with me tonight. This concludes my show. And also, please don't forget to like, share this video. My name is Benoit Sherry. Peace out.